All right, Baruch Hashem. Okay, hopefully you can all see the Hebrew text on the screen. So let's just go ahead and read through the entire parsha real quickly while we're waiting for the ladies to show up. Not ladies, late-tees, those who are late. All right, Genesis chapter 17, verse 1. Vayehi Avram ben Tishaim, and Avram was 90 shana a year, v'teisha shanim, and 9 years. So he's 99 years old. Vayehi Avram vayomer alive. Then when, probably we could say when, Adonai appeared unto Avram, and he said to him, Ani El Shaddai, hitalech lefanai v'heye tamim. I am El Shaddai. Walk around before me and be or become perfect. You could interpret this two different ways. Verse 2. Ve'etna, pardon me, ve'etna v'riti beini u'veinecha. Then I shall place my covenant or give my covenant between me and you. Ve'arbe otecha, and I will make numerous you. Bim'od me'od. This expression is only 3 times in the Torah. Exceedingly so, like very, very much so. Verse 3. Vayipol Avram al panayv, vaydaber ito Elohim lemor. Then Avram fell on his face, and God spoke to him, saying, verse 4, Ani hine vriti itach, v'hayita le'av hamon goyim. I, behold, my covenant is with you, and you shall become the father of a multitude of nations. That's what Hamon means. See the colorized hey there? That's telling us that's going to be part of Avram's name from now on. Verse 5. V'lo yikarei od et shimcha Avram, v'haya shimcha Avraham, ki av hamon goyim netaticha. And you shall not be called Od anymore, your name Avram, but your name will become or shall be Avraham, for the father of a multitude of nations. I have set you, I have placed you. Hold on, let me move my mouse to my other hand. It's getting a bit sore here. Okay. Continuing on to verse, hold on, did I skip one? Verse 6. והבראתי אותך במאוד מאוד, ונתתיך לגויים, ומלאכים ממך יצאו. And I will make you numerous, like fruitful rather, from par. I will make you fruitful. Again, exceedingly much so. This is the second of the 3 times it occurs in the Tanakh. And I shall place you or give you as for nations and kings, which can also be rendered kingdoms in some contexts. From you they shall come out. They will exodus from you. Yetzeu. Verse 7. V'hakimot yet briti beini u'veinecha, u'vein zar'acha, acharecha ledortam livrit alam. And I shall establish, literally means cause to rise up, like cause to stand up, my covenant between me and you, and between your seed after you, for their generations, for an eternal covenant. Not a covenant for a little while until I send my son, but what kind of covenant? Olam, eternal. God's not so tricky. His words are true. Lichyot lecha, to become for you, to be for you, Lelohim, God. And for your children, your descendants, your seed after you. Verse 8. V'natati lecha, acharecha, et eretz negurecha. 8. Kol eretz Canaan, la'achuzat olam, v'haiti lahem lelohim. And I shall give to you and to your seed after you the land of your sojourning, all of the land of Canaan, as a possession for how long? Olam. That's right. The modern Philistines have no claim to the land. It is ours, Olam. Vahiti lahem le'elohim, and I will be for you God. Verse 9. This is Genesis chapter 17, verse 9. If you're tuning in late, we're just going through the full Torah portion as we wait for our kahal to show up. Vayomer Elohim el Avraham. Then God said to Avraham, note it's already, his new name is implemented now. Ve'ata et briti tishmor, ata v'zar'acha acharecha ledorotam. Now you, my covenant, you yourself, this is an emphatic you. We don't need it because it's already here. Tishmor means you will keep, right? You yourself, or you definitely will keep you and your offspring after you for their generations. What will we keep? Et briti, my covenant. Verse 10. Zot briti asher tishmeru beini uvenechem, uvein za'acha acharecha, himol lachem kol zachar. This is my covenant which you shall safeguard, which you will keep between me and you all, and between your seed after you. Circumcise for yourselves every male. Every male shall be, sorry, it's Nephal. Every male shall be circumcised. Verse 11. Unimalatem et basar olatechem v'haya leot brit beini uvenechem. Now you shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskins, and it shall be for a sign of the covenant between me and you all. Verse 12. Uven shemonat yamim yimol lachem kol zachar v'dotechem yelid bayit umiknat kesef mikol ben nechar asher lo mizaracha hu. Now this is talking about ages, not sons, right? So when it says and son of 8 days, it means 8 days old. So an 8-day-old baby is implied, shall be circumcised for you all. Every male for among your generations, like belonging to your generations, who is born in the house, literally is what it says. It says like born of house, right? Or the one who was purchased with silver from all of the foreigners, shall that one, shall none of your, wait, hold on, lo mizarachahu. Okay, yeah, he shall not be your seed. So it's saying here that even those who were born in the house who were purchased, who were slaves, that they actually shall be circumcised. I want to see what my note is. I'm curious. What's the question mark here? Oh yeah, okay, yep, slaves have to. That was a question I maybe highlighted a few years ago. Okay, 13. Himol yimol yelid beitecha umiknat kaspecha v'hayita vriti b'sachem livrit olam. Indeed, the one born of your household shall be circumcised, right? This himol yimol means definitely. And from the one purchased by your silver, right? Or you can loosely render money. That one, this shall be my covenant among your flesh as an eternal covenant, for an eternal covenant. Verse 14. Ve'arel zachar asher lo yimol et basar olato v'nichata hanefesh hahi me'ameha et briti tefal. All right. Now, the foreskin of a male who does not, which will not be circumcised, or shall not circumcise the flesh of his, it's kind of awkward, the speech, of his foreskin, that soul, that's hanefesh hahi, that soul will be cut off from its people. And then we have some emphasis here. My covenant, hefar, he has broken, caused to be broken. Okay. Verse 15. If you're just coming in, we're just reading through the parasha while we wait for others to get here. Vayomer Elohim el Avraham, Sarai ishtecha lo tikra et shema Sarai, ki Sarah shema. Then God said unto Avraham, Sarai, your wife, shall not be called her name you shall not call Sarai, for Sarah is Shema, her shame, her name. Verse 16. Uvrachti ota v'gam natati mimena lecha bein, uvrachtiha v'hayita legoyim malchei amim mimena yichyu. For I have blessed her, and also I have given or appointed from her to you a son, like meaning belonging to a son. And I have blessed, and this could be emphatic here, maybe just indeed I blessed her, or will bless her, I will bless her, and she shall be for nations and kingdoms of peoples. From her they shall be. Verse 17. Vayipol Avraham al panai vayitzchak. Then Avram fell down upon his face and he called out, Vayomer bilibo, Halevein me'ashana yivaled ve'im Sarah Havat tish'im shana teled. So he's struggling with the incredulity of it, right? He falls on his face and he cries out, saying, and he said in his mind, right? So this is literal in his heart, right? So he's thinking this. When it says he said in his heart, it's not like his heart's talking, right? He's thinking inwardly. At 100 years old, will a son come? And shall it be that Sarah, when she's 90 years old, she will birth? Verse 18. Vayomer Avraham el Elohim. Then Avram, so he did this thought, right? He did this thought, and now he's talking. Then Avram said unto the God, Lu Yishmael Yihyeh lefanecha, right? So we have this internal, he's processing what God said, and now after he processed, this is what his human logic says. Oh, Lu is like, let it be so, like, let it be so, or perhaps something like that. Let it be so that Yishmael will be before you, right? Verse 19. Vayomer Elohim aval Sarah ishtecha yoledet lecha bein v'karata et shemo Yitzchak. Then God said, but Sarah your wife will birth for you a son, and you shall call his name Yitzchak. So we have the name is chosen, just like in the case with Yishmael, and just like in the case with Yeshua HaMashiach. And there's some very special cases where the name is chosen by God before they're even born. Right here, it's kind of to remind Sarah that she laughed. Right? Okay, sorry, try not to comment too much. V'hakimoti et briti to livrit olam liza'ol acharav. And I will establish, again, I will cause to lift up, to stand up, my covenant with him for an eternal covenant. Eternal, again, not until Mashiach comes, eternal. There's no way out of this. For his offspring after him. So the covenant is transferable throughout the generations. Verse 20. Uli Ishmael shama'aticha hinei be'achti oto ve'hifreiti oto ve'hirbeiti oto b'me'od me'od sheneim asar nesi'im yolid u'netativ legoy gadol. Now for Yishmael, or concerning Yishmael, I have heard you. Right? Again, remember we talked about last week, hearing, when God hears, it means he's accepting the prayer and he's going to do it. I've heard you. Behold, I blessed him, and and I will make him numerous. And I will make him multiply. Sorry, I'll make him fruitful and I'll make him multiply. How much? Bim'od me'od. Again, that super exceedingly. 12 princes or chieftains, depending on how you translate that, will he sire, and I will appoint him, or I will make them a goy gadol. I'll make him a goy gadol. Sorry, him, not them. A great nation. Okay, verse 21. Bet liti akim et Yitzchak. But my covenant, and this is special emphasis, the way you need to emphasize this, because it's coming before the verb. My covenant I will erect with Yitzchak. Asher te'leid lecha Sarah, l'moed hazeh, b'shama ha'acheret. Whom Sarah will birth for you at the appointed time. See the moed, at this appointed time, like this season, in the next year, the following year, b'shama ha'acheret. Verse 22. When he finished speaking with him, God went up upon Avraham. Verse 23, let me scroll up just a bit here. Okay, so we're almost done. Vaikach Avraham et Yishmael beno ve'et kol yelidei veito ve'et kol miknat kaspo kol zachar be'anshe beit Avraham. Then Avraham took Yishmael his son, and all those born in his house, and all those purchased with his silver, every male among the men of Avram's house, vayamal et basar olatam, and he circumcised the flesh of their foreskins. Hayom hazeh, in the strength of that day, of this day. That means that very day is one way, kind of idiomatic, that very day. Kasher diber ito Elohim, according to how God spoke to him. Verse 24. The Avraham ben Tish'im v'teish'ah shana v'himolo b'sar orlato. Now Avraham was 99 years old when he circumcised, when was circumcised the flesh of his foreskin. Excuse me. Verse 26. Aitzim hayom hazeh nimol Avraham v'Ishmael beno. On that very day, Avraham and his son, and Ishmael his son, was circumcised. And finally, the end of Genesis chapter 17, this week's parsha, it says, verse 27, V'chol anshe veito yeli bait u'miknat kesef me'et ben nechar nimolu ito. You see the little fey marking the end of our sedra there. Now all the men of his household who were born, and just you can think of the house, and those purchased with silver, so the slaves, from foreigners, literally son of foreigner, they were circumcised with him. Okay, great. Shalom, everybody. I hope everybody's here now. 5:05. Let's